Hello, this is an introduction to the ukulele that I have put together for our ukulele class. I thought it would be good for you to learn a few basics before you come to your first class, just to help you feel a little more comfortable, a little less lost. First of all, this is the ukulele. The four strings on the ukulele are G, C, E, A. A good way to remember the four strings is good children eat apples, G, C, E, A. The strings are also referred to by numbers. It starts with the bottom string being 1, then 2, 3, and 4. Sometimes you may be asked to play the first string, and that would be this. Okay, so this is the neck. These are frets. First fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret. You'll notice these dots. They're just there to help you quickly identify where the 5th, 7th, and 10th frets are. We probably won't get into this area much, but we may go as high as the 5th fret. Also, your fingers have a numbering system. Starting with the index finger, it would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And why do you need to know this? Because we often have these chord charts. This is the chord C, and oftentimes that number will be written inside the circle, indicating that you use your third finger. So this chord chart is telling you to put your third finger on the first string of the third fret. Okay, and that is the chord C, and that is the first chord you're going to learn. And it sounds like this. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how to hold the ukulele. I'm holding it a little awkwardly because I'm sitting on the bed and I'm trying to show you what to do. But typically you should have the neck up at about a 45-degree angle. And the ukulele should be tucked in against your body, under your arm, tucked in. You should be able to stand up and hold it comfortably with just that one hand. Okay, and your left hand is placed on the neck. You don't grip it, but it's, lightly holds the neck. And again, 45-degree angle, but then you can't see what I'm doing, so I'm going to put it back down. If you do play like this too long, you can have issues with your wrist. So, don't sit on your bed. Sit in a proper chair and don't make videos and hold it up at 45 degrees. Okay, so your thumb is behind the neck. Again, don't grip the ukulele too hard. And your thumb should be approximately sort of behind your middle finger. Okay, and now some people do grip the ukulele with the thumb all the way up, and some people will use the thumb to hold down strings. But I think best practice is to keep it behind and use these fingers for making your chords. Okay, so what do you do with these fingers? You press down to make chords. And for example, the C chord that I just showed you, you want to play with the tip of your finger. Tip of your finger, not the pad. If you use the pad, it'll work fine for a C chord. But when you play chords on the upper strings, you will damp other strings by doing that. So for example, this is an A minor up here. You don't have to remember that right now, but I am playing it on the tip of my finger and everything sounds clear. If I were to use my pad, this is likely to result. So try to stay up on the tip of your finger. And you'll know if you're doing it right because it'll hurt. And after playing for a couple of minutes, they'll really hurt. But you need to see like how the tips of my finger look kind of hideous. That's because they're calloused and they don't hurt as much. when I play the ukulele because I have developed these through constant practice. Okay, so constant practice is the key. Try to use all four of your fingers. If you just have a couple minutes to practice, this is very boring, but just try to on the tips of your fingers, all right, just to toughen them up a little. Spend a couple minutes doing that after you do your regular practice. Okay, let's move on to, okay, we have the C chord right there, all right. Now let's move on to the G chord so that you can learn a little bit about strumming. Here we go. Here's the G chord. Okay. First finger on the first fret, second string. Second finger on the second fret, third string. And your third finger on the second fret, first string. All right. So that would look like done, done, and done. All right. Sometimes people have a little bit of trouble when they're putting fingers on the same fret. It will help to maybe bring your elbow out a little bit. And just a quick word about the elbow. You don't want it tucked in too close to your body because then you're going to have a hard time playing your chords. You don't want it way out because then you'll have a hard time playing your chords too. So it's just a little bit away from your body. And sometimes you'll need to adjust it out just a little bit. The D chord has a finger on each string on the same fret, and in this case it helps to bring the elbow out just a little bit more so that you can make a clean sound. If you find that you're making a sound like that, first you want to make sure, am I on the tips of my fingers? Okay, yes. And is there any other reason I'm blocking the strings? Oh, maybe I could bring my elbow out a little bit. Okay, you don't have to remember the D chord for now either. Can you even see the C chord? Okay, so now we have the C chord and the G chord. And we are going to learn how to strum. So we'll start, where to strum, sorry. Strum somewhere between the top of the ukulele and the top of the hole. I've seen some people actually play all the way up here. Nobody plays all the way down here, but typically like right near the top is a good place to target. All right, so we are just going to strum with a downstroke. So we're just going to go down, 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 down. And we're going to play a little song just so that it's not too terribly boring. So down, 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 down. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Then here comes the big chord change. Life, that's the G7, is but a dream. Okay, so this is a very common progression. So learning early on how to go from here to here will be a big advantage. Probably the best way to start is just by getting the G7 down. Do this, take your hand away. Do this, take your hand away. Do this, take your hand away. And then pretty soon you'll figure out where it needs to go. So that when you go from here to here, it's a lot easier. I think people who immediately just try to do this, then this, are always going this, okay, now this finger goes there, this finger goes there, this finger goes there, and it slows them down. So just focus on the G. Take your hand away. Take your hand away. All right? And get that into your muscle memory. All right, so one more time, we're going to just strum down, and I'm going to play it a little bit faster this time. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. All right, now the second, excuse the noise in the background. I think that's Mad Max playing. The second very common strum is to just go down, up. Oops, down, up. So we could do the same song with a down, up pattern. We could go row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. All right, I have to go a little backwards here because I forgot to talk about the strum itself. So, strumming the ukulele can be done in a number of ways, and I don't think there's any right or wrong. First, there is the thumb strum, and that would just be, oops. Or if you were to do the down up, you would go, which is frequently done by pad of thumb, back of nail, pad of thumb, back of nail. And do you see how I keep my wrist loose? I don't try to go like this, but like. Okay, so that is the thumb strum. Then there is the index finger thumb. And this goes typically down on the nail and back on the pad. So that would be, or, now there is a hybrid where one might go down on the thumb and back with the index finger, and then this way you're using the pads both ways. So that is the thumb index finger combo. And then there is the multi-finger. I like to use the multi-finger. I find that it's less common. I don't know if it's because I played guitar, but I like using these three fingers. So I play and honestly, when I do the upstroke, it's mostly index finger. There's a variation of that where the thumb is included. I can't do that very well, but I'll give it a try. My thumbnail gets caught. Okay, so while we're actually talking about the hands, just wanted to mention that because you have to play on the tips of your fingers, if your nails go over the tips of your fingers, it's going to be very hard to press the string cleanly. Okay, so those of you who have long fingernails, you're going to have to say goodbye. Okay, so back to the strums. The last strum we did was down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, and I think your goal for your first week is to be able to play your two chords, and especially the G7, because it is much harder than the C, trying to get a clean sound. So, not, okay, make sure you are up on the tips of your fingers. Then you should get this clean sound. All right, the next strumming pattern, I know this is a lot, but you can stop right now and play this part later if you want. But another common strum is the down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. And this is usually for a song that is in, is often used in a song that is in 4/4, you know, 1, 2, 3. Oops, I didn't count that right, but you get the, and it's down, down, up, down. Okay, and obviously you can do 1, 2, 3, 4 for a song that's in 4, and you can go 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. Okay, so the down, down, up, up, down in our song would be row, 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 row your boat gently down the. I can't do it. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So I had to make a little modification on the end because it's shorter, but so one more time. It is hard to sing and play at the same time, especially when you're trying different strums. This is pretty easy and this is pretty easy, but when you start going, so let's try that again. Let's see if I can get it right this time. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. So down, down, up, up, down, 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 up, up, down, 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 up, up, down, 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 down. Okay, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. And again, it's not always easy to sing and play at the same time. So what you need to do is just, get that to feel natural before you start adding the song. But the sooner you start singing and playing at the same time, the easier it'll be in the long run. So, okay. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in your first class soon. Bye.